Hello, friends. I decided I was going to read to you a book called Frog on the Log today. It is written by Leland Pierre and illustrated by Joelle Drydomy. And let's get started. Frog on the Log. And you can see we have a frog and he is sitting on a log. And if you noticed in the cover, he is actually in the water. So he is probably in a pond. Let's find out. Ooh, it looks like actually it's a river. Okay. Down in the woods where the river runs through, by a creaky old hut and a leaky canoe, stood a marvelous mountain of mossy old logs, which happened to house a small family of frogs. Now those frogs like to bathe in the stream in the sun and roll in the moss, which is good froggy fun. Till one day the river rose up, and the logs were washed down the river along with the frogs. So I'm going to let you take a look at this river, and we can count the frogs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frogs in our story. Now, frogs are good swimmers, I'm happy to say, so safely they watched their homes drifting away, as they sat in a row on the bank, except one, who drifted along on his log in the sun. "I will not abandon my home," said the frog, and he drifted along in the sun on his log. So we see 4 of them are over on this page, and one is drifting down the river. Oh my. An hour passed by when the frog saw a dog as he drifted along in the sun on his log. It stood on the bank quietly having a drink in the shade of a tree, and it made the frog think, "Kind dog, I appear to need some assistance. I have drifted downstream a considerable distance. The bank by the hut for the place I so yearn. To my friends and my family I'd gladly return." I wonder what the dog is going to say. "Small frog," said the dog, "I would carry you gladly, but wood tends to splinter my mouth rather badly. So ride on my back if you'd like," said the dog, "but you'll have to abandon your mossy old log." "I will not abandon my home," said the frog, and he drifted along in the sun on his log. Another hour passed as he drifted along, alone on his log in the heat of the sun, when he happened to spy in a nearby bog the snout and 2 eyes of a mud-loving hog. "Dear hog, I appear to need some assistance. I have drifted downstream a considerable distance. The bank by the hut for the place I so yearn. To my friends and my family I'd gladly return." The sun was now sizzling high in the sky, and it beat down upon the frog drifting by. Laid out on his log as the river's end loomed, a sharp, jagged rock, and certain frog doom. I wish I'd accepted the help of the dog, or hopped on the snout of the mud-loving hog. He thought when he saw, at the base of those rocks, the splintered remains of some mossy old logs. So he's at the end of the river. "Well, what do we have here?" said the stunned crocodile, and he grinned at the frog with a wide, toothy smile. "A log-hopping froggy, and I have a hunch he hasn't dropped by for a spot of light lunch." The frog gave a gulp. "This is worse than I feared," thought the frog on the croc, and he shed a small tear. "I'm done for. I've had it. Finito, kaput. I'll never again see the bank by the hut." "And now," said the croc, "stop crying this instant. I too have been swept a considerable distance from way past the hut and the leaky canoe. I'm heading on back now. Are you coming too? So upstream they traveled, the Croc and the Frog, and they waved as they passed by the mud-loving hog, and the dog on the bank in the shade of the tree, to arrive at the place where the logs used to be. Thank you so kindly for taking me home, said the Frog on the Croc, now no longer alone. And he hopped from the back of the Croc to the bank. The Croc waved goodbye, then his crocky heart sank. Nice frog, I appear to need some assistance. You see, I lead a rather lonely existence. My home way upriver was washed away too. So if it's okay, can I stay here with you? And that's how we'll leave them, the frogs and their friend. There's no better place for this story to end. A family of frogs and a crocodile too, in a crocky old hut and a croaky canoe. You want to count the frogs here at the end? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and their new friend, the crocodile. Probably one of my favorite pages at the end. They're sitting out in the sun, and the crocodile is winking at us. I hope you enjoyed my story, Frog on the Log, and I cannot wait to be back to read to you guys some more later on this week. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye.